We got a yellow turn 3, yellow turn 3. Clear now, clear.
Red flag, recharge on and box.
Leclerc turn 3. We can go to strat 5, please. Strat 5 for the next lap. As a reference, same lap time, free air.
And we are back. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. Sorry about this short delay again. I was just dropping the standings. Finale of Tier 1 for the season. Matthias, congratulations to him, has already won the championship. So today is more about the driver championships for the other drivers to see where they can finish on the table and how they can set their value for next season, because wherever you finish on the table this season will change whatever value you get next season. So third and fourth will be slightly more expensive if you're third this season than fourth. So some of these drivers definitely will be thinking of that. Knowing his double points, a lot of them know that they can make a lot of places. Coming to the end of this round. But Pesh is here. T-I-E Pesh. Interesting name today. Decides to change his name for the final race. Quite an empty grid, I would say, because usually Tier 1 was this tier that had a lot of drivers. But quite an empty grid today. I believe might be because it's the final race. You don't expect too many people to show up. And some people have race bans and season bans. Like Pooch is out for the season. Iceman has a race ban. Bad Boy, I believe, is also out for the season, or is he? Yeah, I believe he is also out for the season. So Bad Boy is not racing today. Link's Pistol goes right to the top of the 127-1. Yeah. 127-1. Hazer just slides into P3, 127-3. They're going to set him 127 for now. We'll see if anyone can get into 126. Next is at low 127. I won't be surprised if anyone can jump into 126. Good evening, up the hat, man. Good evening, good evening, guys. We'll see what Deck and Lynx can do today. They had a good race last time around in Japan. We saw them finish, I believe, 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 or something like that. Maybe after penalties, we're moving up a little bit more. We'll need to do it again because they are their own championship fight with Visa RB. It's not. Second place isn't out of the window. Even the Constructors Championship isn't out of the window for us, but it's gonna have to take Visa RB and Mercedes absolutely being abysmal this week if Haas are going to grab the championship right at the end. You see, they'll still have a go at it for sure. They'll still go at it for sure. We'll see what's gonna happen between teams there. Visa RB, only one driver showing up today because not being allowed to reserve means that Viking Fox, who's been doing a good job for them, showing up in for Young Light, wouldn't be able to do that today because reserves are just not allowed on the final day, just so that no one just affects someone else's championship. You don't want a tier 2 driver on the final day of the season affecting someone else's champion. I mean, we already know that the champion has been settled already as Matthias goes P1 over 126.0. He is already champion, so we told him myself in reserve races, but the rules are the rules, so it doesn't matter if he's champion or not. The league most likely wouldn't break it. We still have the constructors though. The constructor is never over before the final. Because the fact we have double points, it will be nearly impossible for a team to have enough points going into the final week that nobody will need to race for them to win. So that will be very difficult. So Constructors is still wide open. Mercedes with 96-point lead to Visa RB. And Visa RB not too far from Haas. Let me see what how many points separate those two teams. Alpine in P3 at about 100 points behind Visa. So that's still a big gap. Then 3 points between Alpine and Haas. So they probably have the closest championship battle. We have 1 point between. They won. Sort of a very close one too. Was it the Ferraris and Williams? No, the Ferraris actually ran away from the Ferraris. Police finishing P6 or P5 this season will be a good recovery. At one point, we're down at the bottom of the table. Matthias with a 1:26.0 still sits at the top with that fastest lap. Pesci 1:26.3 and Hazer with 1:26.9. But Deck now is going to get 1:26.3. Puts himself in P2. Not a bad time for him, but can anyone else get that 1:23 flat? And Matthias did. It's going to be very difficult. Oh Lord. It was win and still take cup. I think. Yeah. It's just quality. Not. I don't feel like this race is going to be that exciting because we already know who the champion is. Where is Mano? Mano is starting at the back. He has a quality band. We'll see. Maybe that will be one race that we can watch and can spice this final race up for us. Mano climbing in from the back. But Deck would have won, yeah, good time from him, 1:26.3, 1:3. We'll see if he can improve on that, but that'll be very difficult. Matthias might not be confident enough to think that he will get that extra points for himself and Mercedes if he stays out there and go for quality again. Mr. P and Mark close together once again. They are always close together, these two. Oh. Yeah, Mr. P 1:27.0 and Mark 1:27.092 and Mark 1:27.093. Pace between these two totally equal. This season, their positions don't really show the pace that they have. Mark is up in P3, Mr. P down in P5, I believe. If they're close together, I would not be surprised at the end of the season they end up right beside each other. They've been the same type of drivers this season, consistently showing up and fighting for the top 10. Sometimes that's what all you need to do to actually finish in a good position in your tier. So a lot of these drivers don't care, are not incident, free most of the times. A lot of drivers will get into incident and lose places. Hazer 1:26.9. His teammate, I think that was that was the visa RB of Rusted Bolt. Moving up to P5 1:26 with a 1:26.9, drops down a little bit as Coffee goes into P4 1:26.8. Not a bad time for the Aston Martin in the final race of this season. Most of them were wanting a very good race here today. They're going to push as hard as they can. Final qualifying of the season for Tier 1. This is where a lot of drivers will want to show themselves. Push as hard as you can. It doesn't matter if you spin or DNF, it's the final race. Just push it to the limit. Double points is always very attractive. A team could get so many points in one tier. Like if Haas, let's say Haas are going against Alpine today, Bam is the only one on track, right? If Deck and Link do finish in the top 5, that's a lot of points gained on Bam because it's very difficult for Bam to finish in the top 5. He's a good driver, but the drivers that he's surrounded by, finishing in the top 5 is a fast stretch for him. But Deck and Links is not a fast stretch for them to even finish on the podium. So Alpine are definitely looking at Haas and thinking this is one team that definitely can't finish ahead of us this season. With Flynn, if Flynn does a good job for them tomorrow's race, because I believe he's the only one in Tier 2, they won't be able to get reserves. See if he can hold on to the points that he has to try and gain today. All the drivers now have set their times with 6 minutes to go here in qualifying. Sorry if I'm a little bit quiet, guys. I sound a little bit congested. I do have a cold. I've had it for days now. I won't say for days. I've had it for more than a week now because I had a cold last time I did come here. It's just that I had a cup of tea before we started. I haven't had a cup of tea right now. I probably will have a 5-minute break. I'll go quickly make one. This is unbearable, honestly. 3 drivers on track. I believe they will be going into the pits. Hazer is on a lap, and Mercedes of Mr. Poem on another lap. Then we have the Alpine of Bam, who is currently has invalidated this lap. So I believe he will be going into the pits. He might not have enough fuel for another push one. With 5 minutes to go here in qualifying, Matthias still sits at the top with Deck very close. Somebody asked for top 5. So who's in your top 5? Deck and Links P1, P2? Woody. P1, P2 for Dex and Links. Yeah, that's very optimistic. Because that's what the Haas will want. That would be nice for them. I feel the top 3 today is going to be... Do I see another win for Matthias? See, I doubted him last week and he gave me a win. Should I doubt him again this week? Or should I just go for Matty's safe bet that Matthias is going to win? So let's go for the safe bet. Matthias wins. Pesci, Deck in P. Matthias wins and a double podium for Haas. Deck in P2, Links in P3, Pesci P4. Merck will finish P5, Hazel will finish in P6. That's how I look at it. So, Matthias, both Haas, Pesh, Merck, and Hazel. But that's just a prediction. Anything could happen. Mr. P could win today. Old man Mr. P. We were talking about him last in Vegas. In the Inter-Tier. I said Vegas. It wasn't Vegas. But we're talking about him in the Inter-Tier, weren't we? Yeah, Jeddah. So, old man Mr. P could grab a win here today. Another title for him this season. It feels like this guy can't just go a season without winning something. Either a driver or constructors. He's about to win 2 constructors this season with the Alpines doing very well in the Inter-Tier. And the Mercedes, obviously, have a very good buffer on the Visa LBs this week. They just have to have a strong performance. Especially the fact that there's only one driver they're going against today in Tier 1. They're going to need a strong performance here to basically seal the title after the first race of the final week. That's exactly what they'll be going for. Matthias, is he that desperate for a win again, knowing he's champion now? Maybe he'll be looking to add more wins for the season. He will be going into the pits now. I think he gave Mr. P a little bit of a toe. Is he improving on his time though? When he does cross the line, yes, he did. Up to P5 for him, 126.7, very close to Link's P's there, so separated by 200ths of a second. Mercedes driver surely will be happy with that. Right behind the Links in the Haas and Deck, also Deck in the Haas, are the championship competitors. And surely Mercedes will be looking at them to race them again. There was a good race between them last week in Japan. Hopefully it can be done again. 13 drivers on track this time. I believe this is probably the lowest attendance that we've had all season when it comes to Tier 1. Yeah. It's good to always have hope. Haas getting a 1-2 here could really ignite their fight for P2 in the championship. Because, like I said, Visa will only have one driver here today. Flynn, we know that he can get race wins tomorrow. So with Viking Fox and Silky Stevens, you have to do a good job to make sure that it doesn't gain too much then. But the final days where people have problems, reeling in Visa LB. They have Shazam and 50 Gents who consistently finish in the top 10 in Tier 3. If you check when it comes to the points, they have gotten the most points for Visa LB this season. If they do win the constructors, those two will be the biggest catalyst of that championship, because they've done a good job from the start of the season right to the end. Matthias still sitting at the top. He's out now, for which will be his final lap in quali with 1 minute 20 seconds left in this quali. Most of them will be pushing for their final lap. They're all on out laps now, except from Deck and Mr. P, who are in the pits. Also, Bam. These 3 drivers. Qualifying surely is over for them. I see someone coming out. Bam is coming out, but I don't think he's going to get there in a minute. This track is about 1:26 average, so he's not going to get there in a minute. So that's the end of Bam's qualifying. A little bit too late to come out now, Bam. We'll see how fast he can. Can he cut enough corners to get Silverstone is not one of those tracks that you can cut enough corners to be able to reduce the time drastically. Maybe France. France is often on the game anymore. Filthy Ghost crossing the line now to start his final lap. They'll all be beginning their final laps. Then the Haas, Mr. P, has retired from the session. I'm going to stick with Filthy Ghost first and we'll jump to the Haas behind him. I believe that's the Link's piece in the Haas. When he does cross the finish line. He's on medium now. And maybe he's just using that to get through these corners. Yeah, he is. Is he improving on his time, Filthy? That's the question. My game shit the bed at the worst time, AFFS. What happened to you, Deck? What happened to you there? So head to Link's piece now. Retired from the session. Deck is out of the session. P2 for now. If Pesci and Links don't have a say about that, Deck will be starting on the first row, right beside Mateus, who looks like he'll be grabbing pole position here today. But we'll see how much these drivers are improving. As it was Filthy I was looking at. But Viva looks like he is the one leading the final drivers out. So we're going to stick with Viva here, coming out of Markets and Peckett. He is improving on his time, 4/10 up on his current time. Will he get enough to get into the top 10? He will need a little bit more of an improvement if he does want to get into the top 10. About 6/10 to get ahead of Merck, but he doesn't need that much to get ahead of Bam, so he can't get into the top 10. If he does, nice and clean from Viva. They're using all his overtake, and when he does cross the line, it's going to be P10 for Viva, finishing ahead of Bam, whose qualifying is over. The Ferrari of Merck takes P8. Filthy Ghost is going to cross the line, whereas he goes for a spin. That will be the end for him. Lynx is out of the session. Visa will be of us. They're both going to be go P7. Pesci, has he done enough now to grab that pole position from Matt? He might not even need to. Again, 125 from Matt definitely is going to grab your pole position unless Pesci has anything to say about that. No, it is not enough. A 126.2. Unbelievable for Mateus, the only driver into the 125. Oh, this might be the first time I've seen a driver in 125s in the UFRL in this track. What a time for Mateus, as he will take that pole position once again. The extra points for Mercedes, and will it be another brilliant race from our championship winner, as he will start right at the top. Like I said, I didn't want to doubt him this time around. I predicted that he will win this one, and let's see if my prediction will come through. I did say Deck will finish on the podium with Links, but it just might be Deck and Pesh. But I know Deck is going to probably finish up there. Why does Pesci have a Scottish flag? I don't think he's Scottish, is he? Maybe he wants to. He's probably repping his friends today. But that is your starting grid for the race, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. I need to make a cup of tea because fucking hell, congested. That's 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And foot to the floor and go. Matthias is going to keep his lead right at the start of this race. Nice and clean from the rest of the drivers. They rusted both, losing a place to Mr. P, who's had a good start here. But the Visa RB wouldn't give it a 3-second penalty for Mano for cutting the corner already. He might be able to appeal that. He might just have been in contact with another driver that forced him off, but we'll see how that goes. The race has begun now as Merck will be looking for a move on Rusted Bolt, trying it round the outside. The Ferrari round the Visa RB, who's going to defend it as hard as he can. Now round the outside of the next corner, the Visa RB is going to go for it, heading down to Corps now, who is going to be the leader as they get down to the corner. The Ferrari is not going to give this one up, but the Visa RB does a good job to defend it and will keep the Ferrari behind. Hazer moving up a place on Filthy Ghost as Mr. P now 110 behind Coffee, very close to him. I'm going to head up to Pesci in P2 coming out of Maggots and Beckett. Will he be going for the move as they head down now, down the back straight? Not close enough for Pesci to get that move done as Coffee is close to the Haas under pressure from the Mercedes. He's going to keep the place in P6 as they will cross the line now, as they are down the inside. Rusted Bolt were looking for it on the Mercedes there. A little bit of lock-up smoke as he was pulling out of it. 131.1 for the fastest lap, I believe. Obviously, the first lap of the race. He will get the fastest lap. Mr. P now, he knows that he's going to be under pressure from Rusted Bolt behind. As you can see from that move, Bolt is not going to be letting anything easy today. He's going to have his elbows out and surely will be racing as hard as he can for the Visa outfit. But Mr. P racing as hard as he can for the Mercedes, tucking right behind the Aston Martin, who's going to try and slightly defend this. Mr. P is going to pick the inside line and dive down the inside. He goes. Coffee's going to try around the outside to try and defend this. Mr. P will look for the switchback as we head here now down to Cobbs. In front of them, the Haas drivers will try to work together to reel in Pesci and Matthias as Mr. P now very close to the Aston Martin. He's going to have to set the DRS up. He's on those soft tires. Let's put the tires on. He's on those soft tires, so he will want to set the move up as they head out of this corner now. A bunch of different strategies. A soft for the two drivers at the top as Mr. P now will tuck behind the Aston Martin, will use the slipstream, activating his DRS, and DRS picking the inside line. Aston Martin once again surely will not give it up easily. Round the outside, Coffee goes. Mr. P has the traction on the inside, and can Coffee use the inside to get the place back? No, he cannot, and that's going to be P5 for the Mercedes as he moves right behind the Haas drivers, and is definitely going to be putting pressure on them now as he's come alive now in the final rounds this season, Mr. P, and he's looking for another podium. I believe that's his second podium in as much races in the last 2 races, Japan and Singapore. As Rusted Bolt again looking for it on the inside of the Aston Martin there. He is one driver that we're going to watch Rusted Bolt today, because looking like he might have gotten some orders from the team. They're going to have to fight very hard today to gain a lot on Mercedes. It's going to be very difficult as we have Matthias running away. We think with Pesci in front. Rusted Bolt though trying the switch back on the Aston Martin. Will he get to the move that Mr. P tried a lap previous? Down to Corps now as they head down with the beautiful camera angle. The Aston Martin is going to keep the place from Rusted Bolt, but he's going to try it again one more time when they come out of this corner with that DRS, heading up to Pesci and Matthias. Now Pesci has taken the place from Matthias, but we see Matthias is going to fight it back, coming out of the corner now, tucking behind and using the slipstream and the DRS, and it's easily going to get that move completed. They'll be probably working with each other now as Mr. P is going to be setting the move up on the Haas. Doesn't look like he will be close enough. Rusted Bolt though is close enough on the inside, takes it from the Aston Martin, the same place that Mr. P did on the lap earlier. Would the Aston Martin fight it harder this time around? No, he will not. It's going to let him by again as Rusted Bolt and Mr. P done the same move on the Aston Martin 2 laps in a row. As now, Haas drivers are still doing a good job here. I did predict that they'll get a double podium, but that's going to take a lot from Pesci and Matthias in front for them to, Dick and Lynx to slide back in to that double podium that they'll be looking for. 4 laps into this race now, We've already seen some exciting moves as the Ferrari has the better entry and exit coming out of that corner, and it's now going to be side by side with Coffee. Filthy is going to try and make it 3 wide, but he cannot. The Ferrari though still on the inside there. Coffee around the outside doing a lot of defending at the start of this race, Coffee. But he's going to try and defend the Ferrari. He's going to go around the outside. Filthy is always also going around the outside. A lot of moves being here. Filthy is going to keep the place from Mano, who's still fighting, trying to get back to the front after his qualifying ban. And now the Ferrari will have to stay behind the Aston Martin. But will he set the move up? As Mano trying to get the move before they get into the maggots. Very dangerous place to actually try a move there. He decided it was time to pull out, as Pesci now is going to be gaining on Matthias, and as Matthias did a lap before, Pesci is going to easily get by. Mr. P now also trying it on the Haas. Will he look for it down the inside? No, he will not. He will take the optimal line to have a better entry and exit coming out of this corner, but it still won't be enough to hook it down. Saying he looks a little bit of a sniff there, but it won't be enough. Bolt going deep there, but he's now going to join back into the DRS of the drivers in front. Exactly what he'll be looking for. Merck will be pushing to get into that DRS, and Manu has finally dispatched of the drivers behind, and now he can push to try and catch the drivers in front to make this one hell of a race as we head to Matthias and Pesci in front, who are still doing a good job to pull themselves away from the rest of the pack. Looks like these two will be fighting for the race win today. Maybe next season these two will be fighting for a championship, but it's going to be very difficult for Pesci to go against the championship against Matthias. He's going to have one of those seasons that almost every race is a perfect race, just like this one for Pesci. For now, 5 laps in, it's going perfect for the Williams driver. Filthy goes though very close to the Red Bull, has the better exit, switching to the outside. The Red Bull is thinking of defending it, but he's going to go back to the optimal line. While Filthy on the inside, will he make the move on the curb? Yes, he will. Down the inside he goes. The Red Bull, they make a little bit of contact. Hazer is not giving it up, as Hazer will keep that place going into maggots now. As Filthy may not be happy with that one, but it's just hard racing, and they've done it really well there. As Bam and Viva now are 3 seconds behind Filthy and will be looking to get back to that pack, but Mano will take the place from Merck. And does he have the pace between these two drivers to actually reel in Rusted? But probably that's why Merck didn't fight that one too hard. They used that opponent in. Mr. Pido has been one driver that's been improving race by race this season. Wasn't really the best start for him this season. Couldn't find his way into the top 5 most of the time. But the last few races, I'll say the last 5 races since after Monza, he's been always in the top 5 when it comes to racing in and around there. Surely has improved a lot in the second half of the season. I believe he just locked in knowing that Mercedes needed that Constructors' Championship. Both wants that Constructors' Championship. As he talks behind Mr. P, wouldn't be enough though, as they head down now to turn 4, wouldn't have enough heading down the straight to get Mercedes. But now he will have who has the optimal line here as they come out of this corner, heading down to Cops. Will the Wizard go for it? It doesn't look like he will be close enough. Mano though has clawed them in a little bit more. 1.2 now. As Tijani in the chat says hello there, long time no see. Tijani, long time no see. Hopefully one day you'll be back in this league racing. We need drivers like you again. We need a lot of pace, especially going against drivers, especially the fact that we have Matthias on track. The more drivers will pace, as Bottas here, going around the outside of the Mercedes here, and he will definitely complete the move as they head down to the corner. Mercedes though would not give it up as it goes round the outside, and Rusted both couldn't get that done. The Mercedes, after being a little bit compromised coming out of Magnus and Becker's, used almost all his ERS probably to hold the Visa RB back to make sure that he does not get ahead of him. He's doing a good job here, surrounded by rival teams, Haas and the Visa RB. See what he can do. But these 3 teams, Visa RB, Haas and Mercedes, have put up a lot of entertainment for us this season. Let's not count out Alpine. Alpine have always been there, but these 3 have put up a lot of entertainment for us this season when it comes to the 3 tiers. Because we do have, both teams have good racers in tier 2, tier 1 and tier 3. And that's why it has been a very entertaining season, as they will continue to fight all the way to the end. Everybody knows the importance of double points. Mr. B now still keeping Rusted Bolt behind. He will be looking for a move. He wants to get the move completed on the Mercedes so he can be looking at the Haas and that both Hasses, those are two Hasses, I was about to say the Hasses on another car, but those are two Hasses in front of the Mercedes. He will do a very good job here if he ends up finishing in front of the Haas and the Mercedes, both Haas and the Mercedes driver, because Visa will be with only him on track. We need that to happen, as Pesci will be making a move on Matthias. They keep switching, almost 5 seconds they are now away from the pack. Brilliant strategy from those two. See if that will keep working. Merck now, we need to push hard to make sure that Mano doesn't pull away from him. It doesn't look like Mano does have the pace yet to reel in the pack. He might have it here because a little bit of a lock up there as they go side by side, the Mercedes and the Haas. That's obviously going to give them, as they make contact, Mercedes now going to lose the place. So Visa will be, luckily for him, he keeps going, and no DNF. You don't want a DNF on the final race, as Mano now has finally caught up to them because of all that kerfuffle that we're having in front. The Mercedes slightly deep there. Mano now has gotten back into that DRS. Rusted Bolt, though, a driver on a mission, has the Haas, who will be next target. In front of him, Links, Peace, and Deck will work together to make sure Rusted Bolt doesn't get a run on them. But surely he's not going to give it up. He's going to keep fighting for the Visa RB outfit and for his position too. Rusted Bolt is one of those drivers who could finish in the top 3 today in tier 1. He has a good race. Merck is another driver that I'm looking to finish in top 3, maybe in P2. But what he's going to have to do is that he's going to have to beat Mano in that McLaren if he wants to grab the second best for the season. So it won't be a shame being second best to this guy, Matthias, who's going to be making the move on Pesci. It won't be a shame being second best to him this season, honestly. So to me, a P2 in the championship is a driver who can win a championship. So Mano can win a championship in this tier. It all depends if Matthias races or if he can go against Matthias in a full season. I mean, he can. I feel Mano can. It's just that he needs to get those incidents out of him. This season, I don't think Matthias has gotten a place drop in any race. So every race that he finished either in his position or higher than his position, depending on penalties that the stewards did give out. As Visa will be now of Rusted Bolt to be looking for a move down the inside, but nothing doing, and he's gonna have to hold it back. He's putting a lot of pressure on the drivers in front for sure. Rusted Bolt, he's on a mission here today, and he's now pulling away from the Mercedes, who's under pressure from the McLaren, who will go down the inside, starting from the back, moving to P6 now. Fake Mano, who's looking for a vengeance today. Maybe he will be the one to finish on the podium. I did count him out when it came to my podium prediction, but Mano is one of those drivers here you can't count out. Even though he started at the back, he's in prime position now to finish right on the podium. Maybe not P1 or P2 because these two are running away with it. They will need a safety car the rest of the pack if they do want to catch up to the drivers in front. A podium from one run, I'll take that. You mean a quali run? Yeah. We'll see if you can get a podium on the race though. That's exactly what Deck will be looking for. A podium in quali is nice, but calling a race is even better. As Links, Peace, and Deck still working together here to keep Rusted Bolt behind. They're doing a good job at that. As Coffee now is going to make the place on the Ferrari of Merck, moving up to P8. Mr. P now in P7 will try to make sure that he doesn't fall away from the pack. His soft tires clearly starting to show a little bit of wear here as he's falling away from them. He will keep that DRS though, because in front they are going to be squabbling. 4 cars together mean that he can catch up to the pack. He just have to make sure he keeps his laps clean and fast. 9/10 that he is behind now, he will have that DRS, but they will be setting up moves now as Rusted Bolt uses the outside, switches back to the inside. Links is going to keep it on the inside as the Haas here, as you can see, are doing a brilliant job to defend from Rusted Bolt, but Mano tried to move down the inside of Rusted Bolt. Didn't work out for him. Goes for a half spin there, but he can keep going right behind the Mercedes. Maybe a little bit too ambitious for Mano, but we don't know. Maybe Rusted Bolt didn't give him a lot of space, but we don't know. It depends if they report it or not, and we'll see about that. Rusted Bolt though still putting pressure on the Haas drivers in front. They did a good job there, as you saw, to defend from him. One keeping the inside line and one keeping the outside lines. Exactly what you want to do when you want to defend from one driver, but this is not what you want to do when you want to defend from him. As he comes out of markets, he's going to use the outside links, using that slipstream to keep in front of his teammates, but the Visa RB gets in front of Deck. His next target now is going to be Links using the outside. Can Rusted Bolt get the move completed on 2 horses in a few corners? No, he cannot. He's going to keep his place right behind Links there, but very, very good racing for him as the Mercedes of Mr. P believes it is time to go into the pits. Like I said, it looked like he was starting to struggle on those tires, as Pesci now also into the pits for the medium tires. And would this strategy work out for them? How much of an undercut can they get? As most of the drivers now will be going past them. Only 2 drivers decided to pit on that lap. 7 seconds now that Matthias is away from this pack. But Rusted Bolt, a 10th behind Links Piece, has the DRS that Links Piece doesn't have in front of him. But Deck down the inside takes the move, makes the move on Rusted Bolt and takes that place. Mano has joined back in this fight. He's going to do a switch back on the drivers. They are 3 wide coming out of this corner. Mano moves up to P3. Can he get the move completed on Links beside him? Links and him just going side by side into Corps. Can Links go around the outside the Haas driver? He's slightly going to go wide there, trying to move on the McLaren, but the McLaren gets that place into P3. Unbelievable racing from this 4 here. I don't know how they didn't come together, but they did not, as Mano now will be setting the move up on Deck in front, using that DRS, keep saving the ERS a little bit. He don't know, and he might not have enough to make the move going down to this corner, so he's just going to hold it back. But what racing between those drivers there? Who is going to go into the pits now is the question. Will Rusted Bolt going? Yes, he will. Will Merck go in? The soft tire runners are going to go in now for a change of tire. Hazer, though, going in on those mediums. He is going in early. Was he going for the softs, though? That's the question. We will see. Matthias has gone into the pit, and where will Pesci come out relative to Matthias? I believe Matthias already has changed his tires, so he's just sliding out of the pit now. It is a long pit lane, as the Pesci now in the Williams is going to be pushing hard to try and take the lead of this race. Where is Matthias as he comes out of the pit? Pesci is going to take the provisional lead of this race. Does he have enough to get out of the DRS or the Mercedes behind? We'll see, as Mr. P now undercut, walking to perfection, getting ahead of Rusted Bolt. Exactly what he needs. Some of the drivers still staying out. Deck, Links and Mano are still staying out. We'll see if the strategy that Mr. P has gone for here will work on them too, as he has gotten ahead of Rusted Bolt 1.8 seconds now, and will try and pull away from the Visa RB driver. Viva 3/10 away from Bam. We're trying to set up the move on the Alpine. Has those medium tires. They're both on medium tires. When will they decide it will be time to go in? Hazer went in early and went for the soft run there. Will he work together with Merkel to try and reel in Rusted Bolt? Rusted Bolt just 2 seconds up the road, and we know where Rusted Bolt was racing in this one. So if Merck and Hazer can catch up to him, they could join the top 5 fight. Mr. P now trying to run away from Rusted Bolt. His tires are starting to warm up now, and this will be the point where he will start to reel in that Mercedes. Mercedes though has done a good job right behind Pesci once again. These 3 in front though deciding for a different strategy here. Maybe they're going for the bold strategy there. The Haas drivers though will have to think about who's going in first or next, because they do not want a double stack. A double stack is the worst thing that you can get. Rather have another driver going round again and maybe just losing 5/10 for the side to go out, rather than going in and losing about 7 seconds on a double stack. We'll see how they're going to do it, the Haas drivers. Who is going to be the driver that will be called in first by the team to change those tires? They're both on medium, so they'll definitely be going on the softs for their final stint in this race. Especially Matthias will definitely get ahead of the drivers in front when they come into the pit. But will Bolt and Mr. P also get ahead of them, because they went in way earlier than these 3. We'll see how much that strategy works out for them. Surely one of them will be coming into the pits now. Mano does have that 3-second penalty. We'll see if he does appeal it, but surely one of them will be coming into the pits on this lap. We'll see. We're going to stick with them. Mano staying out or coming in. Is he going in? He's going to stay out there. Oh, staying out for another lap. Watch those 3. Coffee's also staying out. Viva and Bam, who's going to stay out between these 2? Are any of them going in? No, both of them decide to stay out on track. Rusted Bolt though has caught up to Mr. P now and can now set up his move in this race. The 3 drivers in front I want to see how this strategy works out for them. This is actually interesting to watch. I'm actually happy that they're deciding to extend the tires, something a little bit different from everybody else. And we'll see how that goes. You know, and now nothing is really happening. Let me have my cup of tea because, oh my god. This is get room more congested. I will follow the drivers though, just so you can see if they're making moves. Oh, Mateo's very close here. See, oh, I see my Pesci making contact here. He's going to go around the outside, Mateo's, the Mercedes. And does he want that place as they head down to Corps? Pesci's not going to make it easy for sure as he stays in P7. Mateo's, though, down the inside of Corps, going to take the place for Pesci. What a move. Can Pesci hit him with the switchback? Is he going to hit him with the switchback? He didn't. Going into Margaret and Beggars, the Mercedes, make sure that embarrassing overtake did not happen to him. It's been brilliant stuff from Pesci. But with these drivers going into the pits now, they're going into the pits. One Haas will go in. No, he will not. Link still staying out. They're going to extend those tires as long as they can. As Viva now and Bam are surely going to be slowing down Mateus and Pesh. And how much can they gain on the drive? Oh, how much can they gain on Pesh and Mateus, the drivers in front, now that they're stuck behind Viva and Bam? Oh, very careful here, Mateus. You don't want to go into the back of Viva and compromise your race. Just patient. Patience is key. As we're talking about this, I believe on the inter-tier race, about how most drivers, when they do their strategy, end up, oh no, they make contact, Viva and Mateus. They keep going here. Mateus is going to take the place from the Visa. I'll be Pesci took advantage there, got ahead of Mateus as he made contact, going side by side with Viva there, as Pesci now is going to make the move on Bam. And Mateus too will definitely not be patient behind the Alpine here as we try to get the traction race down the straight and trying it around the outside. He's going to go a little bit on the gravel here. That is not what Mateus will want, as Bam is not going to make it easy for him. Pesci can use this opportunity now to pull away from this. Is there a chance of rain? One, the drivers will have to update us on that. I don't actually know. But it's looking, the clouds are looking dark out there. But it just might not rain. As Mateus behind Bam, I will need to make the move right now if he doesn't want Pesci to run away. Pesci will not have that DRS, but he will, as he switches to the outside, and he will get that move completed on the Alpine. With the Alpine fights it down the inside, it looks like he's trying to, but he wouldn't have enough. Now though, the Haas and the McLaren of Deck and Mano have come in for their pit stops, and how much would they gain? How much would they lose to Bolt and Mr. P behind? It's exactly what we're looking for. They have older tires though, so those fresh softs that they have will definitely be working perfect for them. But Mano is coming out now, Deck is coming out now. We'll see how this strategy works out. Mateus behind Pesci now did a good job there not to lose Pesci, fighting behind Bam and Viva. But Rusted, Bolt and Mr. P now, as you can see, have gotten ahead of Deck and Deck Mano and Mano. Hazer now will split these drivers, and Hazer too, deciding to go in earlier for those soft tires, has gained a lot here. But going to the end of this race, surely it's going to be compromised a lot, and we'll see how much he can keep with 4 laps done on those soft tires. And maybe it will be smart not to fight too hard here, to just follow the drivers behind him, as the Mano there almost going into the back of the Haas there. But he will keep going now. Link's piece though, where will he come out when he does come into the pits? Deck 2 tenths behind Hazer. Be looking for a move. I'm gonna have to have my team now. Let's stick with them and see if he makes a move. Yep, he's going to make a move. The Mercedes of Mr. Perm is also going to make a move on the Visa RB. Deck now putting pressure on the Visa RB. Round the outside, he's going to go. Not. Oh, as he goes for a spin there. He's going to lose time to the drivers in front and may potentially lose DRS, as the Haas driver now will not be loving what's happening. He's going to push hard to try to make sure that he doesn't fall out that DRS. 9 tenths that he is behind the pack there. I don't believe he's going to fall out. He does have the pace to get back in but not exactly what we'll be looking for. But this is exactly what Mano will be looking for. Around the outside of the Visa RB, takes that place. His next target now is going to be the Mr. P in that Mercedes. On the inside, he's looking for him. Mr. P will give him the space. Now with the DRS and the ERS, the McLaren is going to take that place. Visa RB is going to follow him down the inside on the Mercedes, who's trying around the outside to defend from him. Nothing doing there, as Hazer in the Haas was also looking for a move. There's 6 cars here going for it, as Hazer is going to have the better entry and the better exit side by side with the Mercedes. Now on the inside, heading down to Corps, he's going to take that place. Can the Mercedes fight around the outside here? No, he cannot. He's going to let Hazer by, slightly extending there, but Hazer takes that place into P5. He's slightly falling off on the drivers in front though. That's not what he will want. He wants to make sure that he keeps that DRS. Mr. P though knows that he's under pressure from the Haas behind, who made a little bit of a mistake earlier in this lap, but this time around he's gonna go for the move down the inside. 3 wide they go. Can this move be completed without any contact? Yes, a little bit of contact on the Mercedes and the Haas there. Mr. P and the Red Bull side by side. Can you go around the outside of Hazer there? Hazer is not giving this one up. Double points in the final race. Elbows out from all these drivers, as Link's Piece now is going to put pressure on Mr. P. On the inside he goes, heading to turn 1, as he would take P7 in this race, as they keep switching places. Matthias and Pesci in front, looking like they will be a winner, but out of these two, who will cross the line first? Both doesn't have that DRS to Mano in front. Mano now has started to pull away from the pack, as he will look like he will take the final positions on the podium, but he will need to pull that 3 seconds away from the pack behind him if he wants to get that podium. Rusted Boto doing a great job for Visa RB here now. Up to P4 he goes, decking P5, and we'll be putting pressure on him for sure, as the Haas of Link's Piece now round the outside of Hazer has the better traction as they head down to Corps. An easy move for him as he moves on to P6. The Haas drivers now will try and work together here to pull themselves back up this race, to maybe even catch Mano now, who is starting to slowly pull away from the rest of them, as Mateus now has been taken. Mateus' place has been taken by Pesci, who now takes back the lead of this race. Those two will just keep switching, as Deck now will make the move on Rusted Bolt. Easy does it, and now can he reel in fake Mano? Maybe that'll be the tactic from Rusted Bolt. Don't fight it too hard. Try and get Deck to reel in Mano, who he wants to start to pull away here. Deck does have the pace to reel in that McLaren, as Lynx also will be trying to get back into that DRS. Mr. P in the DRS of Hazer can't still keep up with his pack, as Coffee and Merck will be pushing to try and catch up to them in front. The pack is not that separated in this race, except from Viva and Bam, who've had their own personal fights at the back. But the pack this race hasn't been that much separated. Oh yeah, I forgot about the top two. But there's a big pack in the middle that are quite close to each other, so anything can happen. If you make a big mistake here, you're going to lose a lot of places in this pack. That's 1.5 seconds now. Mano still keeping that buffer from Haas behind. The Haas and the Visa RB are going to be going at it. They have their own championship battles to go against. Save for the fact that the Mercedes will be getting the race win or podium or P2 here today. 2 drivers finish on track. It's very difficult now to start to win Mercedes for the Haas outfit. And about 200 points behind Mercedes, and with 96 away from Mercedes Visa RB. Rusted Bolt doing the best job that he can. Surely we'll keep pushing to the end to see if he can even do a better job. But Pesci and Mateus are going to be going side by side here. Let's watch a little bit of their action as Pesci still keeps that place from the Mercedes. We're going to stick with them for this lap, because it doesn't look like they're just walking together. Looks like these two are absolutely racing here, as Mateus tucking behind Pesci going into turn 1. Will he make a move going into turn 2 here? Will he go for the inside? No, he's going to hold it back. He knows that he's going to have that DRS. He will take the optimal line as he gets to this corner here, trying to get a better entry and the exit than the Williams in front, having another sniff now with DRS as he gains on the Williams behind the rear wing. Wouldn't be enough though to go down the inside. Looks like he's going to hold it back once again. Will he make the move now going down to Cops, or is he waiting for that DRS as they head down to Stowe? Here we go now, heading down to Cops, not using that ERS, tucking behind the slipstream of the Williams, and he definitely will be making the move as they get out of Markets and Becker. We're going to watch these race leaders for now, because I know surely they want to see a little bit of themselves racing here, because I'm watching the pack in the middle a lot. But let's give them a little bit of screen time here as the Mercedes of Matthias now tucking behind Pesci. How much is Pesci going to defend this? He's not using the ERS to defend this. Round the outside, Matthias is going to go. Pesci is going to give him that space. He's going to defend it down the inside. He is trying to defend it from the Mercedes, but he's going to take back the lead of this race. Pesci, will he go for it down the inside? No, will not. He will go for a little bit of a sniff, but he's just going to have to hold it back. Deck, though, still pushing hard, though, to try and catch Mano in front. What's their boat? Making sure that they don't pull away from him. Lynx Peace has fallen away from the two in front, and he's now under pressure from Hazer, but he's also falling off. But Mr. P now has fallen behind the Aston Martin of Coffee. It's a very strong start to the race now. Has changed here for Mr. P. Maybe that early choice to go early onto those medium tires not really working here for the Mercedes driver, but we'll see how it goes. He will tuck behind Aston Martin. This week he's just most likely looking to finish the race. Just look to finish all the races this season, because it is this week, but it is double points. Rusted both though, P5 doing a good job. As XP still can't catch up to them. Hazer has finally fallen out to that DRS on those old soft tires. About 5 laps to go. Will he have enough to keep the drivers behind him away? Because he has 2.2 seconds behind him. He does have old soft tires behind him too, and old mediums, so he just might have enough. We'll see how that goes. Rusted boat though now finally falling out of the DRS from Deck in front. It looks like he will have to settle for P5 or fight for P6, as Lynx would surely not give it up. They both have penalties in front, Deck and Fake Mano, so if Rusted boat can just keep up with them, he surely will be getting a podium for Visa RB here, which will be very good on him. Be very, very good on him. Mano is looking to secure his P2 in the championship, and Rusted Bolt is another driver who's looking to finish in that top 3. Depends how much points will he be gaining. How much points will he be gaining on Merck, because Merck is also fighting for that P3 championship, but he's down in P10. Rusted Bolt, if he does finish on the podium, will be gaining a lot of points on that Ferrari and might be the one to slip into the top 3, but we'll see how that goes now, as he's now falling out of the DRS to Deck. This is not what he will want, because if they start to pull away from that DRS, they might get enough to pull 3 seconds away from him. Coffee though catching up to Hazer, 1 second that is caught up to Hazer to the previous lap when they were at this corner, and surely Hazer is going to be under a lot of pressure coming to the end of this race. Mr. P though will be looking just to finish this one. Merck will look to also improve his places, because he's in a championship battle with Rusted Bolt behind him trying to get that P3. Mano looks like he will secure the P2 today, even if he doesn't finish on the podium. He looks like he will secure that P2 in the championship today. Heading back to the front as Pesci and Matthias still using their DRS to pull each other in. I'm going to come back to these two in the final 2 laps of this race and see how hard they race. That's how you go now. Coffee has now finally gotten up to the DRS of Hazer in front, and this now will be a 4-way battle to the end for the P7 in this race, as Lynx still can't catch into the DRS of Rusted in front, but Rusted has fallen out. This is exactly what Lynx will need now to push and try and get ahead of that Visa RB. If they want to be beating Visa RB at the end of the season, this will be a starter, trying to really invest the ball, trying to finish ahead of him in this race to make sure that the Haas can't get that 4-5 secured. If he can get close to Bolt, maybe fight him a little bit hard to make sure that Deck isn't in that buffer from Bolt that will give Bolt the podium at the end of this race, because Fake Mano also has that 3-second penalty, but it looks like he's about 3 seconds away from Bolt now, so he was exactly where he needs to be, but Deck is not where he needs to be right now. So Lynx Peace surely will be trying to help his teammate here, as Viva and Filthy Ghost switching places there. Viva now taking a place from his teammate, moving up to P11. Merck though right behind the Mercedes, who's right behind the Aston, putting pressure on the this is going to be a dangerous one here. I see making a little bit of contact. Mercedes is going to take the place from Hazer, who was a little bit compromised, making contact there. He's now going to make contact with Mercedes. 3-second penalty for Coffee in front, exactly what Mr. P and Hazer will be looking for. But Hazer is looking for it down the inside of Mr. P. Goes for it. Mr. P round the outside is going to defend. He has the grip, has the traction. Hazer and those old softs can't really do anything about it, as Merck now will be putting pressure on that Red Bull with a few laps to go in this race. It's not been a bad race at all, as Hazer now right behind Mr. P. They know that Coffee has that penalty in front, so all they have to do is stick behind him. They'll all be finishing ahead of the Aston Martin. Boto has fallen away from Deck even more, and he might not even need help from his teammate here to get that 3 seconds away from Rusted Bolt. But Lynch surely is still gonna go at it. He wants that P5. They both don't have penalties, so he definitely wants that P5. What will the Haas driver do here today for his team? 8 tenths behind Rusted Bolt. Is going to have that DRS. He's going to have to use a little bit of DRS to reel in the driver in front. Rusted Bolt, though, one driver that's improved a lot this season. When I first joined the tier 1s, he was racing down there. Surprise, surprise, he was racing down there with me. Racing just to finish in the top 10 or in and around the top 10. But as the season has gone by, he's been improving race by race, season by season. As Hazer now with a 3-second penalty. That is exactly not what he will want. As Mr. P now surely will be happy with that. Merck also will be happy with that. How much will he gain on these two? How much will he gain on Rusted Bolt in front? If Rusted Bolt does finish P6 on the podium, Merck probably will still be able to secure P3 in this championship. But the Ferrari driver surely will be happy with that. But Rusted Bolt is going to have to make sure that Lynx Peace doesn't get ahead of him if he wants to secure that P3. Lynx Peace, though, 7 tenths behind, is going to have that DRS. Deck still less than 3 seconds ahead of Rusted Bolt here with 2 laps to go. Will both do enough to keep that P4 on Deck in front? Will both do enough for Visa RLB today? If he does, Bolt will definitely be my driver of the day, because from the lights out, he's been absolutely blistering, elbows out, going for every move that he can go for. And if he does finish on P4 here, surely he's going to be my driver of the day for a brilliant race for Visa RLB. He's one driver who's missed his #1 driver, Young Light, this season. Imagine if Visa RLB had Young Light this season, who could get them wins, who could get them podiums almost every week, rather than having a reserve of Viking, who did a good job, but obviously he's a reserve. You don't expect him to win in races. Visa RLB might just be the ones leading this Constructors' Championship going into the end. But unlucky for them, Young Light couldn't show up for the longest time. Boto has been doing a great job, but for now, he's under pressure from the Haas of Lynx, who's not going to make it easy for Bolt here. Deck, though, has caught up to Mano in front. Will he make the move on Mano? They both have that 3-second penalty. And on the final lap of this race, who is going to be your winner? Who is going to finish on the podium? Where's Merck going to finish relative to Bolt if he wants to get that P3 in the championship? It's all kicking off right at the end. Pesci is going to use that DRS to gain on Mateus. He is in the optimal position coming to the final lap of this race. He's going to have that DRS as they head down to Stowe. And will he be the leader of this race when they cross the finish line? Will Pesci win here? Who is going to be a winner? Is he going to be our champion and the Mercedes driver who's grabbed a lot of wins this season? Or is it going to be Pesci, who's looking for his second this season? I believe after Australia, and he's going to be pushing hard behind Mateus here as they head down now to Corp, to Maggott and Peckett for the final time in this race. Pesci doesn't look like he might be close enough to the Mercedes of Mateus, but he makes a little bit of mistake. That's exactly what Pesci will need for his run as they head down now to Stowe. Mateus is going to defend on the inside. Pesci is going for it around the outside. Will he take the lead of the race? Mateus is going to defend this. They're making a bit of contact there. Pesci is going to go wide. That's not going to be a penalty for him. Mateus trying it around the outside to keep the lead of this race, but Pesci wants the win, and Pesci is going to get the win. Slides in front of the Mateus right at the end, and that's a dub for the Williams driver. Deck takes it for Mano at the end too. He will take that P3. The Haas of Lynx, as Mano goes for a spin when he does cross the line. The Haas of Lynx will cross the line to make it a 3-4 for Haas. What a job they've done here today, as Rusted Bolt is going to finish P5. Mano and P7 going side by side. The Mercedes and And the Red Bull there, Mr. P will take P8, Merck will take P9, but Coffee looked like he pulled away from the rest of them. He had that penalty, but he pulled away from the rest of them so he can keep that P7 in this race. What a race this was. As Filthy Ghost will finish ahead of his teammate Viva Hill, finishes in P12, and bam, will round up the grid. What a finish to the race there. Congratulations to Pesci, who fought it very hard. The Matthias didn't want to give the win up, but good racing between those two. As Mano takes the driver of the day. As Mano takes the driver. I saw VCAP there, but I believe that's just the fan zone stuff. As he stands at the top step, Pesci for his second win this season will be a surely very, very happy man as he grabs the trophy. And his team will celebrate because they all know that the champagne is going to taste the best in the Williams camp, as he's accompanied by the Haas of Deck and Mateus. I actually got the prediction right, but I said Mateus to win, Deck on the podium, and Pesci in P3, or Links in P3 actually. But Pesci, I said Pesci, and when he raced this start, I said Pesci might just end up getting the podium. So that's the podium I did expect, Pesci, Mateus, and Deck. But look at the Haas, what a race from them as they get 3 and 4. That is a lot of points that they're going to gain on Alpine. A lot of points they will gain on Alpine, because Alpine down in P13, and they will take that place into P3 going into the end of this race. Flynn, maybe Wood, if he does race tomorrow, will have to do another job there to beat the Alpines. Or maybe they can claw in the Visa RBs too, because they did today a little bit. But there you go, the final race of the season, the finale. What a season it has been, guys. Yeah, GG, well done. Pesci, yeah. Pesci's not too fast for this league. Pesci, well done for him. Well done from him. He finally got that one on Matthias. I know he'll be definitely very, very happy getting that one on Matthias. He's been getting washed. He's been getting washed allegations since the start of the season. Now, am I washed? Is the question he's asking as he grabs the second win of the season. Thank you guys for tuning in for the final race here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I have been Willie Fernandez for the final time in Tier 1 this season. We have been UFRL for the final time in Tier 1 this season. Till next season, it's good night and goodbye.